Let me share the screen. Any issues, any doubts in the yesterday's class? Any challenges faced? Right. So what things we have discussed in yesterday's class? What and all we have discussed in the yesterday's class?
Set up the virtual box and installing the Windows Server 2012.
Okay. Apart from that, what and all things we have discussed yesterday? Right. So yeah.
The compatibility components.
Yes. Okay. Components. Yeah. Very good. Okay. Components, compatibility, on what version of the Windows Server we can install SQL Server, right? So now let me ask this question: on what version of OS, okay, we can install? Someone is starting video, I guess. Please stop the video. Can you please stop the video? Right. Okay. I just stopped the video. Okay. So on what OS, on what operating system we can install SQL Server 2014? Can anyone tell me on what operating system we can install SQL Server 2014? What and all operating systems we can install SQL 2014? So what is the formula we have discussed yesterday?
-7 plus 7, total 14.
-7 plus 7.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
14 minus 7.
Yeah. Now tell me what and all operating systems. What is 2014 minus 7?
2007.
2014 plus 7?
2021.
Yeah. So what operating systems are there in this range?
2008, 2008.2,
2008,
12,
2008
12,
R2,
16.
2012, 2012
14,
R2.
16, 17.
17, 19.
So someone
16.
said 14, 16, 17.
16? No, 16, 19.
16, 19.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So there is no Windows Server 2014. Okay. After 2012, we have Windows 2016, then Windows 2019. Okay. So here, yes, and all these operating systems you can install. Okay, SQL Server 2014. On other operating systems also we can install, but you cannot do it directly. I told you, right, you will get the compatibility issues. Okay, for that you have to patch the lower version component. Okay, say for example, imagine now you want to install your SQL Server 2012 on Windows Server. Okay, the Windows Server 2003, 2008, right? Wait a minute, let me check. Yeah. So you want to install SQL 2017 on Windows Server 2008. Okay, 2008. Now, is it possible to install SQL Server 2017 on Windows Server 2008?
Having
No,
compatible issues.
incompatibility.
Usually you will get the compatibility issues. Yes, you cannot install directly, but here there is a way to install. Okay, but it won't work for every operating system, just 1 or 2 years. Okay, we just discussed -7 to +7, right? Just one or two years. Okay, you can manage. Sometimes -8 to +8, -8 to +7, like that. So in that case, okay, you want to install your SQL 2017 on Windows Server 2008, right? This is the scenario. In such case, there is a way. What is that way? You have to patch your operating system. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to patch your operating system. Once you patch the operating system, the level will be increased. So the gap will be decreased. Okay. So imagine there are a lot of service packs will be there. I'll tell you what is service pack and all. It's just an update. Guys, you are going to use smartphones regularly. You are going to receive a lot of updates. You are going to update apps manually, or else if you set it automatic, all apps will be automatically updated by itself, right? In the same way, for this softwares also we will have updates. Why? Because lot of issues will be there, lot of security threats will be there. So regularly Microsoft release some updates. We have to patch the SQL Server and Windows servers with Microsoft updates. If you patch the server, the level will be increased. Imagine if you just patch Windows Server 2008 with SP4, there are service packs. SP means service pack. SP1, SP2, SP3, like that we have service packs are there. Okay. So SP means service packs. Microsoft will release every year. Microsoft will release these updates. These are the updates, guys. Okay. These are the updates Microsoft will release every year for each software. So in case if you patch your Windows Server 2008 with SP4, okay, might be the level will be increased to 2012. Again, it is 2008 only, but it will behave like a 2012. So on 2017, sorry, SQL Server 2017, you can install on Windows 2012, right? So in this case, whichever is the lower version, you have to patch your lower version software. In our scenario, Windows Server is lower version. So in order to install 2017 on Windows Server 2008, you have to patch Windows Server 2008. In case if customer is still asking, no, I want to use Windows Server 2008 only. At any cost, I need this. In such cases, usually what we can do is we have to patch the operating system. Why? Because the lower version software is operating system here. Okay, so the higher version is 2017. If you patch SQL Server 2017, okay, what is the problem?
Compatibility.
Yes, the level will be increased for 2017. Okay, the gap will be increased
Okay.
between 2017 and 2008 again. So you cannot install. Got it? So in this case, in these two softwares, whichever is lower version software, you have to patch that software so that you can install your SQL Server 2017. But again, it won't work for all the versions. Just 1 or 2 servers, it will work. Okay, just for 1 or 2 years to manage 1 or 2 years, this concept will work. Now tell me, I want to install SQL Server 2005 on Windows Server. Okay, Windows Server after 2012 R2. Sorry. Right. So now tell me which software I have to patch now.
No need
You
to do
patch
anything.
the
It's only
SQL
7
Server.
years gap, right?
Sorry,
No need to do patching, I think. 7 years only gap, right?
gap 7 years only, but 2012
Yes.
might be released in
Actually, it's
2012 or 2013. We don't know, right?
Yes. We
Got
have
it?
to patch 2005.
We need to
2012.
patch 2005.
Yes,
SQL
okay.
Server.
2012, we have Windows Server 2012, Windows Server 2012 R2 also. Might be Windows Server 2012, might be it may release in 2013 also, 2013 also, we don't know, right? So there is 8 years
Mhm.
gap. In such case, okay, which software is lower version, you have to patch that software so that the issue is going to be fixed and you can install. And again, this concept will work for plus or minus 1 to 2 years. That's it. Don't think like I can install my SQL Server 2000 on Windows Server 2012. It's not possible. 12 years gap is there. Just plus or minus 1 to 2 years. That's it. You can manage by just patching either SQL Server, by just patching either Windows Server. Clear?
Clear.
In such case, whichever is the lower version, you have to patch that lower version software so that the gap will be decreased to 7 years so that you can happily install it. Okay, fine. Any issues, any doubts here?
Patching means it's like update, right?
Yes, update. Just patching means as of now updates only. Just applying the updates is called patching. How you will patch? Just if you go to the Play Store, you can see PhonePe app. It is showing update available. You will click on update
Mhm.
button. It will be automatically updated.
Yes.
Right? In the same way, patching means updating your software is called patching.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a separate class on patching. How to regularly we are going to do the patchings in the organization. It's very important to know, to learn the patching, to have a hands-on experience on patching. So I'll tell you how to patch the SQL servers, what are the precautions, what are the use cases, what are the challenges, what are the errors you are going to face while patching the SQL server. Everything we'll discuss in the patchings class. Okay, fine. Right.
Okay.
So let me
All right,
connect.
sir.
Yeah. Let me connect to my batch 38 machine. Yesterday we just created, right? Yesterday we just installed virtual machine software, Oracle VirtualBox software. After that, we have configured the Oracle VirtualBox software. Then we have created one virtual machine, batch 38. After creating the virtual machine, we just installed Windows Server operating system. Which version we have installed?
2012 R2.
Yes, yesterday we just installed Windows Server 2012 R2. Okay, then we also discussed how to set up remote connections, how to access your server from your local machine, what is meant by RDP, what is this MSTSC. Okay, so usually what shortcut you are going to use to connect to the server remotely? What is the shortcut you are going to use to connect to the server remotely?
MSTSC.
MSTSC. From where to where you are going to connect to the servers remotely? Where where you are going to type that MSTSC shortcut? Let me explain, guys. Let me explain this. Back to the servers if you are doing work from home. How to connect to the servers if you are doing work from office. Okay, we'll discuss all these things. Okay, in this diagram. Yeah, Brian, don't worry about it. I'm going to forward you that link. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Right. So I'll explain what is this MSTSC, what is the remote desktop, okay, what is VPN and all. Right. So imagine, okay, this is your company. You are all selected for one company. Okay. Imagine this is a Infosys company. Okay. Infosys. Right. This is the company organization. Right. Once you go to the company, you will have servers, right? Windows server, or else let me type server. We'll go with this server. Okay. So this is the Windows server. Okay. This is the Windows server. In the Infosys company, we have Windows server. Okay, fine, clear. Right. Now, what we have to do if we are going to do work from office, what we have to do or how to connect to the servers if you are doing work from home. Right. So you just go to the office location. Okay, user, you are the user. Okay. Right. And which one is the good one? Yeah, this one. Okay, let me go with this. You just went to the office. Okay, due to corona we are unable to go to the office, right? Okay, before corona, okay, you just went to the office, right? And let me go with the laptop. Okay, laptop, right? Office will provide you the laptop. Okay, you got a new branded laptop. Okay, this is your laptop now. Okay, this is your laptop. Now you are in the office. Okay, this is your laptop. Okay, right. Usually once you are in the organization, you are limited to the office network. Network means organization internet. Okay, your device will be connected to the organization internet, right? Fine, there is no challenges you are going to face in case you want to connect to the server. Okay, so imagine my server IP address is 192. In our case, this is different. In the organization, this will be like this. 10 10.10.124. Okay, this is the server IP address. Right, this is the server IP address. You can connect to the server either using IP address, or you can connect to the server either using server name. Okay, now you are in the office location. Okay, now you are in the office, like workstation. You are at your workstation. Your laptop is connected to the office internet. Now tell me where I have to type MSTSC to connect to the server. Why? Because in case we want to connect to any server, we have to, okay, use remote desktop, RDP. Okay, RDP, very important, guys. These are and all very important things. Last time one student got selected, everything went perfect, fine. Okay, 1 hour interview completed successfully. Finally he asked how to connect to the server. Okay, then he didn't tell the answer. Then he got it out, what is RDP. He didn't open his mouth. He is very good at technology, he is very good at subject. Okay, he knows everything, but he don't know how to connect to the server. He don't know what is RDP. That's it. Okay, so this kind of small issues also will cause a lot of issues. Don't know what interviewers will ask. Sometimes they will ask you, okay, how you are going to, like, how you will go to the office, by cab, by bus, by public transport. Okay, if you said by bus, what is the bus number? What is the bus number you are going to catch? Okay, so don't know. To find out the fake profiles, we don't know what kind of questions they are going to fire. Okay, so you have to be perfect in all the cases. I know these are very small things, but small things are always important, guys. Okay, right? So RDP means remote desktop protocol. Okay, so remote desktop protocol, using this RDP we can connect to the servers. Okay, so you can open this RDP in two ways. One is type the Windows button. Okay, just type remote. Okay, you will get this kind of remote desktop connection. RDP or RDC, both are same. A remote desktop again, if someone asks what is RDC, I don't know, I just know RDP. Don't tell like that. RDP, RDC, both are same. Remote desktop protocol or remote desktop connection. Okay, you can open this RDP in two ways. One is just hit the Windows button and type remote desktop connection. You will get this kind of screen. It will ask you what is the IP address you want to connect. You have to provide the IP address here. There is another way. There is a keyboard shortcut. Go to your, okay, laptop, just type Windows or run button will open. Type MSTSC. Okay, this is the shortcut to open remote desktop connection. Okay, here you have to provide the server name or IP address to which server you want to connect. This is called RDP. Okay, usually in multiple ways. See, don't think in all the organization they will use RDC or RDP. Some organization will have jump servers. Some organization will have Citrix apps. Citrix apps is a called of jump servers. Okay, Citrix apps. Sometimes due to security, what they will do, you cannot directly connect to the server. Okay, let me show you. Okay, usually what we can do, usually once go to the office, okay, we'll open MSTSC here. Okay, let me type MSTSC. Okay, we'll open MSTSC in your laptop. Okay, you will simply open your laptop, you will type MSTSC, you will give the IP address of this server and you will connect to the server remotely. Sometimes we will have jump servers. Okay, let me check whether we have jump server diagram. Jump server. Okay, there is no results. Okay, fine. Okay, sometimes you cannot directly connect to the server. Okay, first you have to connect to the server. Okay, from your laptop you have to connect to the server, then from jump server you have to connect to the server directly. So due to security reasons, okay, so sometimes we have to connect, we have to use the jump servers. Okay, jump servers means same, like jump server means It's an intermediate server. Okay, right. So in case if someone hack, they can only hack up to jump servers. They cannot go to the organization servers, right? So this is called your jump server. Okay, let me type jump server. The example for jump servers are Citrix apps. Citrix apps is called one kind of jump server software. Okay, first you have to connect to the Citrix apps. Then from Citrix apps, you can connect to your server. Okay, so this is your setup in the organization. So simply once you go to the office, you have to open your laptop. As your laptop will be already connected to the internet, office internet, you can simply type run Windows run, and you can type mstsc. Then you will get a pop-up like this, and you have to enter the IP address to which server you want to connect. Right, what if you are doing work from home? Okay, work from home, beautiful home. Let me check any home diagrams. Right, this is the home, small home. Okay, make it big home like this. Right, now you are doing work from home. Okay, now your laptop is there, and this is the user. Okay, where is this guy? Come outside. Hey. Let me delete him. Okay, or else let me go with another home. This is fine, let it be. Fine, okay, let it be. Let me change the user now. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so he is the user. He is doing work from home. Okay, now he has his laptop with him. Right, now you are doing work from home. Okay, this is your laptop. Now you just connected to the internet. Okay, and you just connected to your office internet. Okay, gear symbol. Right, okay, so this is your internet. Might be you can use Airtel or Hathway or whatever available internet. Okay, internet service providers are there, ISPs are there. You just connected to the internet. Okay, so your laptop is connected to the internet now. Okay, now you cannot directly access the servers from your home. Okay, it's not possible. You cannot directly access the servers like this. It's not possible. Okay, so what we have to do for that? Okay, first you have to connect to the VPN software. Okay,
VPN.
so yes, okay, VPN software, virtual private network. Okay, VPN. Let me check whether we have VPN. Yeah. Okay, so what you are going to do, first you will connect to the VPN software using your internet. Okay, using your internet, you are going to connect to the VPN. Your laptop is connected to the internet, right? Your internet using the using your VPN network, you are going to connect to the organization network. Right, okay, so the software which we are going to use, okay, to connect to the office network is called VPN software. We have a lot of VPN software guys. Okay, we have Cisco VPN. Okay, and Pulse Secure VPN and Global Protect. Okay, these are the main VPN softwares. Okay. So sometimes if they ask you, did you connect it to the VPN? Okay. Did you connect it to the Pulse Secure? Did you connect it to the Global Protect and all? So that means they are asking us to connect to the VPN first. Once you connect, once your laptop is connected to the VPN, how it can connect using your internet? Okay. Let me type this as well. Okay. Airtel ISP, Internet Service Provider. Okay, so this is your Airtel Internet Service Provider. So simply you are going to connect to your Airtel modem. So then what you have to do, this VPN software will be installed in your laptop, guys. Don't think like that somewhere we can found that VPN and all. This software will be installed in your laptop. Okay, so simply once you are doing work from home, first what you have to do immediately, in case you want to connect to the office, what you have to do immediately?
VPN software.
Download and install a VPN on your laptop.
Yes, usually we don't do that, Brian. Okay, office
Okay.
people will download and install it. Okay, no need to install from
Okay.
your side. Office people, they will
Okay.
contact you and they will only install VPN. See, you don't have privileges or permissions to install whatever you want in the office resources. In case you want to install, you
Okay.
have to take the proper approvals. Or office Windows team will only take control of your laptop and they only will install this VPN and they will configure the VPN in your laptop. So once you started doing work from home, immediately in the next second, once you started your laptop, in the next second you have to connect to the VPN. Once you just connected to the VPN, then only you can connect to the servers. This is how the connection will go. First your laptop will be connected to the internet, then it will be connected to the VPN, then VPN will be connected to the either Jump server or you can directly connect to your Windows server. Okay, the process is same, but earlier no need to connect to the VPN software. You can directly type MSTSC. Now if you're doing work from home, first you have to connect to the VPN software. It's not a big deal, guys. Just connect button will be there, and every 1 minute or every 30 seconds a 6-digit pin will be generated. Okay, either you can generate that pin to your mobile number, 6-digit pin. Okay, 6-digit pin will be generated. Or else sometimes if you see some software employees, earlier they used to carry some small device. What is the device called? Anyone having any idea? What is the device? Okay, very
RS token.
yes, very good. Okay, so they are going to carry that device. Okay, so in that device, a small device, okay, the pin will be generated automatically for every 30 seconds or 1 minute. So they are going to use this pin to connect to the VPN. Then from then they can connect to the office servers. This is how it will work. Okay, so same way you have to open your MSTSC here. You have to type server IP address and all. But before doing that, first you have to connect to the VPN software. Then only you can type MSTSC and you can connect to the servers. Is it clear, everyone? Any issues, any doubts here?
Clear,
Yeah.
Shanmugh.
Yeah, no issues, right?
No issue.
Yeah, fine. Right, so let's discuss, let's connect to the server remotely. Let me check the IP address. I told you, right? IP address will be changed every time as we are connected to the private network. Usually in the organization, IP address won't be changed. Static IP address will be there. Okay, so that's why every time I'll log into the machine directly, then I'll check the IP address. What is the IP address? Then I'll give that IP address in this RDP screen. Then I'm going to connect to the server remotely. How to check the IP address?
If config.
IP config.
Swati,
IP config, sorry.
why if config yesterday also if config? You are still in Oracle mode. Okay, right. Okay, so go to your server, right? And yeah, go to your server. You have to check the server IP address, guys, not your laptop IP address. Okay, just type IP config. Okay, now you'll get the IP address. This is my IP address. Okay, 192.168.43.51. Let me check same IP address is there. 192.168.42, right? 43, yeah, 43.51. It was changed a little bit. Yesterday it is 174, now it is 51. Okay, 51, right? Just click on connect button. It will pop up for the password. Give the password, okay, and hit enter. Now you can connect to the server remotely like this, okay? Like now I just connected to the Windows server, right? So we yesterday, anyone remember the steps for installing SQL Server? After Windows Server is ready, what we have to do, what we have to install?
We have to
Okay.
install SQL Server.
Okay, very good. So before installing SQL Server, there are some prerequisites. Okay, there are some prerequisites to install the SQL Server. Main prerequisite is .NET Framework. You have to install .NET Framework first. Then only you can install SQL Server. If you don't install .NET Framework, you cannot install SQL Server. Okay, hardware and software requirement, like you should have at least 1 GB RAM, okay, and at least 4 GB storage. These are not needed. Why? Because our servers will be highly configured with a 16 GB, 32 GB, 64 GB, and with 1 TB, 2 TB storage. Okay, no need to remember the hardware and software components. Hardware components, okay, software components, you have to remember this one. .NET Framework is important. Without installing .NET Framework, you cannot proceed to install the SQL Server. So first I'll install .NET Framework. Okay, I'll tell you how to install .NET Framework. It is easy. In case in the server, if you want to install anything, you have to depend on the server manager. Okay, so let me connect to the server. This is the server, right? One minute. Yeah. Fine. This is the server. And if you see here, this is the server manager. Once you just turn on the server, automatically server manager will be popped up like this. It will be opened automatically. So in case if you don't see server manager, on the taskbar, you can see a server with a briefcase, right? Click on this. This is the server.